What's going on, everybody? It is TripleCrown24 back today with a card show recap video. This is my haul from the Eastgate Mall show, east side of Cincinnati, Ohio. Kind of got there a little bit late today, and then I stayed until the end doing some value box digging, mostly intending just to find a few things for my set. I've got two big lots that are coming in the mail early next week. And then, of course, there's everything from the basement collection. I've leaked out a couple of videos of that so far. I'm working on volume 3 right now to show you, and I've got some pretty cool stuff that will be shown off in that portion that I've already recorded. But I needed to get some newer stuff, and I just wanted to kind of get out of the house, walk around, and chat with some people and all that. And overall, it was a fun show. Let me show you what I picked up for the value box. Again, I was working on my two sets that I talked about in one of my latest videos, and the goal was to at least try to get one card from each of those, and went 1 for 2. I did get this in the mail for my blue ice set, meaning it wasn't a complete shutout on the day. Deshaun Watson. But I did get this one for my Topps Chrome blue set. I actually saw another Topps Chrome blue refractor there. It was Rafael Devers, but the guy had $20 on it. And even if that's what it goes for, I'm just not paying that for a fifth-year Devers blue refractor. This Arozarena was in a $5 box. I ended up getting each of these cards for $4. The dealer just knocked a few bucks off for me. And it's always cool when you can reduce cost a little bit, especially on the lower end stuff. But this one, like I said, is going into the set. This one is not going anywhere just now. It's one that I'm kind of going to hold on to. This is the Meyer Purple O'Neal Cruz. If you're not familiar with the Meyer Purples, how they work is that in Series 1 and Series 2 packs, they'll have these blisters. So it will be this outer plastic shell that hangs on like a rack. So it's not really a rack pack. It's a blister pack. If you're familiar with like Pokemon and that kind of stuff, you'll know what I mean by that. But they pack these cards, they being Topps, loosely into the back of the plastic shell, meaning you'll have your pack here, and then this card will be on the back of it, not in a sleeve and a top loader, just loose in there. And that's why you can kind of see that there's some damage around the corners. The packaging does not lend these to being very minty, so to speak, coming out of the pack. And again, this one was in a $5 box. That's probably what a blister pack costs these days. I haven't bought one in quite some time. So I couldn't tell you for sure, but I mean, in Series 2, since the big three are short prints, they don't have these Meyer Purples. This is probably the best card that you could get out of one of those, aside from Ohtani, because he has the pitching card in Series 2. And again, if I went to Meyer, bought one blister of 2022 Series 2 and pulled this out, I would be pretty happy. Cruz is kind of one of those forgotten about guys right now just due to his injury. And at $5, which then became $4, how could I say no to that? Same thing here with this one. Calvin Austin was not on my buying list today, but when opportunity knocks, I had to answer. 2022 Prism Blue Retail Super Short Print. Sure a lot of you are familiar with these. Just tough to find inserts from Retail Prism. And this is a guy from the rookie premiere photo shoot, meaning it's supposed to be one of the better rookies in the class. Calvin Austin, I think, is a bit of a meme because I feel like he's the one who you always hit out of a box when you're looking for George Pickens and preferably Kenny Pickett. But again, at $5 for a card that has a print run of probably 15 or less from a brand like Prism, I'll take a shot on it. There's only been one of these that have sold. From what I can see, it was at $20 back in the springtime. I'll probably be able to get that out of it, but not a bad little lottery ticket there at $4. Speaking of the guy who had the Devers, I did find this in his $5 box, which I was curious about. You know, Devers is $20, but Miggy's $5. Got to put some respect on Miggy's name. I'll gladly take it though. 2019 Finest Miggy Blue, numbered out of 150. And then this was a 15 dollar stack here. One of my best sellers for baseball, hands down. Shout out to Dustin. Kirby Puckett on the 21 Stadium Club Chrome Refractor. Doesn't matter what it is. If I have it at a reasonable price, I always sell Puckett stuff. This one at $1, I mean, this guy right here, Damian Pierce, was a front runner for Offensive Rookie in the Year about six weeks in. Injury kind of derailed his season last year, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, for $1, a card that's numbered out of 100, a guy who showed a lot of promise in his limited playing time last year, that was definitely one that I would take a flyer on. Same with this one here. I have no idea who this dude is, but it's a Mojo autograph from Prism Draft, numbered to 25 for $1. Sure, I'll take a shot at that for $1. This guy is having a phenomenal season. I'm sure that a lot of the Padres fans out there are a little disappointed with how the team has performed this season, given the expectations, but there's been a bright spot. It has definitely been Ha-Seong Kim. This is the yellow refractor from Bowman Chrome, his rookie year, numbered out of 75. Again, one of those that's just saw it, figured I'd take a shot on it. This one was a throw-in Marquez Stevenson. Same line of thinking as the Calvin Austin. It does have this big kind of print band on it, but it's a Prism Rookie Premier Guide numbered to 75 on the green scope. Just worth a little scratch-off ticket. That's what I like to call those. I mean, you never know, really. And I always move Prism color pretty well, especially the rookie stuff. People will buy that stuff up. So I don't pass on it too often, especially when it's numbered like that and it's at a reasonable price. And reasonable is going to vary depending on what you're talking about. This one's actually already been sold. AJ Minter from 2020 Finest Flashbacks, numbered out of 25. This is one of those that, again, if you're opening up Finest Flashbacks, it's going to be, I think on the low end, you might be able to find a box from one of the 3 years for $250. You're going to get one refractor, and I believe you get one gold refractor in every box. There's no guarantees besides the refractor. But these blacks are a little bit tougher. Most boxes I've seen have them, but it's a 200 card checklist in 2020. I'm sure there's a lot of names that are probably preferred over AJ Minter. No disrespect to him, but there's a lot of team collectors out there, player collectors out there, and these types of cards may not always be readily available on eBay, especially after a few years. I'm having a hard enough time finding some of these Prism Blue Ices, and that's a much more mainstream product, and there's 99 of them, so you can only imagine on something like Finest Flashbacks out of 25. As time goes on, fewer and fewer of these make themselves available, and one of my favorite things to do is to go out there and, I guess, quote-unquote, rescue them from boxes and make them available to those who need those cards for their collections in whatever capacity they may need them. Here's one from a $2 box, last of the value box pickups, Extra Points Blue Foil, Myles Garrett rookie. Just seemed like a good deal based on what I've sold a lot of Garrett stuff for. He sells surprisingly well for a defensive player. Probably better than most would think. Let's talk about the slabs really quickly here. I only have 3 to show off. This one was stickered at $70. I ended up making an offer for $50. Dealer came back at $60. I said I would hold at $50. And he said, sure. And sure enough, for less than 2 blasters already graded in an SGC 10, Shohei Ohtani, gold from 2023 Topps Series 1. I mean, he's still the hottest name in the game. And what he's doing is absolutely incredible. Had a grand slam last night as of recording this. And, yeah, couldn't pass that up for this price. One that I don't mind holding on to if needed, but Ohtani stuff at that kind of price, you can't let it go. And the same could be said about these last 2 slabs. They kind of come with a story. This was the first deal of the day that I actually made, and I saw this card. And whenever I see something like this at a show here locally, I am pretty much prepared to know that I'm not going to get it because high quality Burrow and Jamar Chase cards, everybody asked a premium, myself included. It's very difficult to find these below eBay prices. And if you do, it's usually because you got to buy a lot to get there. You got to bundle a lot of things together. The seller told me, or the dealer, I should say, told me his price on this, and it was about $25 below the last sale. And the last sale happened to be the lowest of the two sales that I could see for a PSA 10 on this Razzle Dazzle. These are quote unquote case hits from Mosaic. You can get them at a retail. I don't think that these are particularly rare. They probably have a print run of 1,000 or two. Not a super short print, as some may lead you to believe, but nonetheless, a PSA 10 Burrow, tougher insert to get, pretty much at 85% of what they go for is, or what they have gone for. I should rather say. You just don't find stuff like that here locally. As soon as he told me that, I knew that I needed to take a look at some of his other things that he had. I was hoping that maybe he'd have some blue ice for me, but struck out on that front. He did have this Jamar, and I wasn't even interested in this one at first, but there was this mom who had come over, and she was interested in it for her son. And come to find out, her son's at the show looking at other stuff. He comes up to the table a few minutes later, and he's got his big wheelie black box with him, and he asked about this card. The dealer tells him, look, it's $50. They go for 100. I looked it up. About 70 to 75 is what they actually go for. But he was willing to give a pretty good deal on it. And this guy was definitely a motivated seller. And I'm kind of doing the math in my head, when am I going to get an opportunity at this show to get two cards like this for this kind of value? I mean, if you can get it even at eBay prices, sometimes you're lucky on Burrow and Chase stuff, just because there is no reason to sell it below that. They are in such high demand. I get people who come up to my table at Xenia and they'll try to buy this stuff at 60% of its eBay value, or what the last one specifically sold for on eBay. And usually that's a fabricated number as well. It's a number that they made up. It's not even based on the actual sale. Regardless, you just don't get an opportunity. And he asked about this card first, so I didn't want to snipe it out from underneath him just as a common courtesy thing. But he kind of just sat there for minutes on end, just kind of mulling it over. It looked like he was about to try to talk the dealer down more on some other stuff too. And once I had a good feeling that he was going to pass at 50, I said, I'll take these two. And I mean, I tried to be as courteous about it as I could. Like I said, I don't want to snipe out a deal from underneath someone. And I was looking at this Burrow here before he had come up as well. I don't know. It was kind of a weird situation to get into it, but we made the deal. It was good to go. He just went on and kept looking at other stuff at their table. But that's the thing, is that I'd be willing to bet that he was going to try to get this at $40. And again, they're pretty consistent at 70 to 75 from what I can see. And this guy was selling his for 50. You're just not going to find this kind of stuff in this area at that price. And really, nor should you, because a lot of dealers, I mean, these are the two most asked about guys, specifically football wise. All that said, I was pretty happy just to even get those two. If I had walked out after that, I would have been pretty happy with the day, but was able to get this for my set, and then got the nice Otani and did really well on the value box stuff today. I think that this stack will definitely pay dividends. Didn't have to break the bank. It was a nice, relaxing Saturday afternoon. Got to shoot the bull with some friends and connect with them, tell the story about the basement collection a bit, and now take a little breather and have a little bit of downtime here on the weekend for getting back into it. So that was it for the Eastgate Mall show. Let me know what you thought of today's recap down in the comments below. Take care, stay safe, be kind.